Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about MrBeast yet again. We're doing another one of these videos where essentially the internet is just getting mad at MrBeast over something that he's doing that's extremely generous. And this just happened again like literally 2 days ago at this point, and I didn't even cover it when that happened, right? I just kind of slipped past me, but it seems like anytime MrBeast does literally anything and it gets like reported or, it somehow makes the news or gets out on social media, people just freak out about it. Now keep in mind, this isn't some like massive online hate wave or something like that. I feel like when things like this happen, people kind of like characterize it as if, I don't know, tens of thousands of people are online complaining about this. In reality, it's a very vocal minority of people every single time pretty much. Like, I mean, the first couple times, I feel like a lot more people were against MrBeast, but after, the years have passed and people realize that for the most part, he's not just doing stuff like this as like a cheap cop-out or something, and he's actually doing pretty legit work with his videos and stuff like that. Most people I feel like that were initially against him kind of understand a little bit more now. Like, this isn't just some quick cash grab or something. This is like a legit system that MrBeast has set up where he does stuff like this. And obviously he's known for being extremely generous in his content and to his employees, and that hasn't stopped anytime recently. In fact, news just got out in the last couple days that MrBeast bought an entire neighborhood for his employees to live in, pretty close to where they film all their videos. Apparently it is in Greenville, North Carolina. I guess that's where MrBeast lives or something. But essentially, yeah, MrBeast bought a bunch of like these houses in a neighborhood, I guess, just outright bought them. And I guess the idea is MrBeast employees can move into these houses, live there or whatever. And basically it's completely free. Like, these people don't have to pay rent from my understanding. Like, MrBeast is literally taking care of everything. Like, he's buying the house and just kind of like letting his employees live there. Now, obviously, most people have jobs where, let's just say, their boss / the company they work for doesn't just outright buy them a house. So for most people, right, you hear like, oh, MrBeast bought up an entire neighborhood to let his employees live in rent-free, and you hear like, damn, that's a pretty awesome deal, right? Like, most people, especially like my age, the idea of homeownership is becoming more and more of like a distant possibility. More and more people are essentially just like renting and shit. For a lot of people, that's all they can really afford. They don't really have money for house payments or the credit or whatever they need to get like a mortgage. So to hear like, oh yeah, I can work for a fucking YouTuber named MrBeast and live in a house for free in this neighborhood with all the other, like, bro, most people would be absolutely floored by an opportunity like this. But you know how people on Twitter are, man. They had to find something to nitpick and fucking complain about, because why could MrBeast ever do anything good? Like, obviously he has to have horrific, disgusting intentions behind everything that he does. Like, it's just always got to be a bad thing when MrBeast does something. He cures 1,000 people's fucking deafness and allows them to hear again. This guy's just doing it for money. He cures 1,000 people being blind. Why isn't the government stepping in and doing this? Why is a YouTuber doing this? He buys all of his employees somewhere to fucking live. Oh, this guy's just starting a company town. So there's two main criticisms that people have been basically throwing out against this idea of MrBeast buying up all these houses. Number one is the company town argument. So a lot of people are drawing comparisons between what MrBeast is doing and between company towns, which are essentially, historically, they're small towns or areas inside of towns that were either completely founded of the like notion for employees to live in, or they are essentially bought up by a major company in the area and then used as like housing and stores and everything for the employees to actually use. It's essentially like, let's say, like, I don't know, like YouTube decided to start a small town for YouTubers to live in. That's called a company town, and there's actually a very long history of company towns existing, and in a lot of them, the living conditions have been pretty subpar. The companies take advantage of the employees when they can. It's more or less been seen as a pretty net negative when company towns are founded. Now, this isn't really the same thing as a company town, and I think most people don't really know what they're talking about when they say shit like this. So MrBeast is buying up a bunch of these houses for people to live in for free that are employees. Keep in mind, it's entirely optional too. That's what people aren't really pointing out. They're acting as if this is like something that these fucking employees have to do if they want to work for him. That's not the case. If MrBeast employees don't want to live in the free house that he's offering them to live in, they can have their own living accommodation elsewhere. It's literally just an opportunity. It's voluntary, if anything. So it's also not a company town because, I mean, like, it'd be different if he bought, like, literally a whole town and, like, it was mandatory and he was making these people fucking pay rent to him, or he was, like, taking advantage of them in some way. That's not really what seems to be going on here. Like, more or less, it just seems like people are taking the historical, like, I guess, examples of company towns and shit and just, like, preemptively applying that to what's going on here. Like, it's like a more or less, like, it's a guilty until proven innocent thing, if anything. I mean, like, there's no proof that MrBeast is trying to, like, fuck his employees over or hurt them in any way, but it's being made out as if he's, like, some sort of fucking just completely greedy capitalist scumbag taking advantage of the less fortunate, people who don't have money like him, just taking advantage of them for their labor. Like, you get to work for a fucking YouTuber, you probably make a pretty good paycheck, and you get to live in a house for free. Let me get taken advantage of. Fuck it, bro. Like, now the other argument that people have been using as to why this is bad is it apparently sounds like a cult, I guess. So a bunch of the MrBeast employees live together, it makes them a cult. Now, yeah, cults, they traditionally, you know, they got people living in a big camp or some shit, and then they all go drink the Kool-Aid and everyone's fucking dead or something. But last time I checked, though, cults aren't really voluntary. Like, if you want to, you know, be a part of a fucking cult, you kind of just have to do what they say and listen to them all together. You don't really get too many choices and options and shit like that, so not really sure what kind of cult this sounds like. It's the most voluntary cult on the planet. But now, one of the arguments that I saw somebody use as to why, you know, this is just bullshit is because, oh, it's just being nice on the surface, right? You're just being nice to him on the surface, right? You give him a house to live in, no strings attached, but what happens if MrBeast fires them or they quit their job, or what, you know, what happens then? It's as if these people have never been outside. Like, what happens in literally anywhere? Like, you go buy a house, right? You got a 20-year mortgage. What do you think happens if you get fired from your job and you stop paying for the house? What do you think fucking happens? I don't know. Do you think they go in there with the mafia and fucking kill him in the living room? Hey, you Big Tony said you gotta get the fuck out the house. Capiche? And they blow him apart with a fucking Tommy gun? Like, I'm confused on what you think happens. I don't know. They fucking move? What is there, one planet, like one house on the entire fucking earth? I don't get it, man. Like, what do you think happens? Like, what happens anywhere when you stop paying for something? What happens if you're in an apartment complex and you stop paying rent? What the fuck happens then? Like, yeah, of course, the housing situation isn't literally permanent for the rest of your life. For most people, when is housing that? And this completely ignores the situations in which MrBeast has been more than charitable to people. Like, there's been stories that have come out in the past where, like, you know, he's helped people even in their transitions after working for him. Like, I remember seeing a story that MrBeast did where he was talking about, like, a guy who didn't want to work for him anymore or whatever, and there was no hard feelings, and he helped him find another job in the industry and recommended him and everything. Like, MrBeast has a track record of being decent to people. It's not like this is some fucking scumbag who's just known for screwing people over and taking advantage of people and stuff. That's not him. Like, these people are, like, it's weird. It's almost as if people at this point have, like, some sort of fucking, like, twisted fantasy that MrBeast is just some complete shitbag. It's kind of, like, sad almost. Like, these people want so desperately for MrBeast to be this, like, fucking scumbag bad person that they can shit on. Like, it's such a perpetually miserable outlook on life. It's kind of embarrassing. Like, from the outside looking in, I would be fucking embarrassed. Like, you constantly see stories of this guy doing good, being successful, and then giving back to people, which is rare, by the way. You see constant stories about this. And every time, like, your first reaction is to just try and find the negative in it and find a way to tear that guy down. That makes you look like a fucking loser. And I don't think these people realize that. Like, who am I really supposed to listen to? Like, when I'm, you know, I'm one of those types of people, I like to listen to people who have fucking proven themselves, that have a track record. I'm supposed to be siding with someone here. Who am I gonna side with? The self-made multi-millionaire who built one of the most successful YouTube empires of all time through hard work and dedication, has constantly given back to the community, has, like, objectively improved the lives of thousands of people, given away countless millions of dollars and shit, who is buying free housing for his employees and is helping take care of them. I'm supposed to believe him or the do-good nobody on Twitter with 7 followers working in a fucking Chipotle, giving double scoops of chicken and absolutely hating themselves. Who am I supposed to listen to? And that's not to knock on people who do food service work and shit, because I did it too, you know? But it's always those people that are acting as if they're like the fucking top dog. Like I'm supposed to listen to you because you have a fucking Twitter account, you know? Because you can type a fucking tweet. Like just sitting there being so perpetually miserable, so unsatisfied with your own life, and just seeing so much negative in yourself and in your worldview that you automatically assume that everybody else is negative and has bad intentions. Like I feel like that's more telling than anything. Like I'm one of the types of people, I genuinely try to give people the benefit of the doubt when possible, right? Like when I first meet somebody, my belief in you is that you have good intentions. Like you should. I feel like that's how you should see other people. You should assume that people are decent people until they prove otherwise. Like I feel like it's an unhealthy mentality to just look at this guy you've never met on the internet who's clearly trying to do something good, like multiple examples of it, and then you try to find a way to fucking tear him down because you and all the people you hang out with do piece of shit things and are pieces of shit and would be doing scumbag shit if you were in his position. But I'm supposed to listen to you. I'm supposed to take you seriously, right? Like get the fuck out of here with that, man. I think people just want to be different. I think that's what it's really starting to come down to. Like these people see that most people online actually kind of fuck with MrBeast, right? Like even if you don't watch his videos, I mean, 95% of the people I know who don't watch MrBeast will just be like, yeah, but I mean, from what I hear, he's a good guy. He does good shit. You know, he does cool stuff. Like, I mean, they find something good to say about him. But it's always got to be that like little 5% of people that just like gotta be fucking different, man. Like they just can't admit that like, hey, maybe he's doing something good, maybe he's doing something cool, because they gotta look different than everybody else. Say, you know, oh, well actually I think differently. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. What this all really goes to show, man, is no matter what you do in this world, people are gonna find a way to bitch and moan. If Jesus Christ came back from the fucking skies today and he was performing miracles in Times Square, you know, he was feeding the homeless bread from his fucking hands, you'd have people on Twitter bitching, pissing, and moaning that he was doing it. Wow, I really can't believe that Jesus Christ was just giving food out for free to people. I mean, what does this guy want us to think? He's some sort of fucking saint or something? People are just stupid, man. So, with that being said, don't let the world tell you that doing good shit is wrong. Just because they have twisted worldviews, they have warped mentalities on what the world around you is supposed to be because they're shitty people, they don't have a purpose in life, they haven't figured it out. Don't let that be something that stops you from doing something good. Don't let that be the ultimate thing that just roadblocks you from making the world a better place, man. Like if more people honestly had the mentality of, I want to impact the world in a good way and I want to actually do something that benefits the society and the people around me, the world would be such a better place, man. So with that being said though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about MrBeast buying up the hood and signing out.